Hello indie game fans, the Steam Next Festival is live with, wait, that cannot be right, 1,820 games participating, so that's a lot of demos to go through. So the best games begin with Kill Knight, a game that made quite the impression at the III Initiative showcase earlier this year, being a self-styled, ultra-responsive, arcade-inspired isometric action shooter in which you wield deadly weapons and slay hordes of otherworldly horrors while having to master the demon within. And whatever they are cooking, I'm definitely down for this. It does talk about distinct layers or levels and refer to these as arenas, so it is not a dungeon crawling RPG, but rather just an awesome action game, so give this one a play to get a feel for the controls. Tales of Iron 2 is the sequel to an awesome 2D Souls-like title that can be described as Game of Thrones meets Redwall, retaining the sick art style of the first game, which looks awesome, but takes it to the frozen north, where you need to fight bats instead of frogs as the primary antagonist, and we'll also see the return of the voice actor of Geralt of Rivia to add his awesome voice to the game. This video is brought to you by Alt F4 2, a 3D permadeath platformer that just released out of early access, which is the sequel to the viral hit Alt F4 from 2021, in which you play as a knight on his many trials as he seeks to rescue the king from his new chicken form. This is a hilarious platformer due to the ragdoll physics, since all sorts of traps and hazards are thrown your way, testing your reflexes and escalating in difficulty as the game progresses, so be prepared for potential rage quits. The 1.0 release adds a huge new jungle-themed final stage with jungle animals to avoid, along with new costumes and various deadly traps for you to overcome, contrasting the agony of failure with the sweet taste of victory when you finally complete a level. If interested, head on over to their Steam page for more information, with there being a 20% launch discount that is valid until the 19th of June, so time is of the essence for you to get a great game at a great price. If you, like me, were a little skeptical of the review of Wizard of Legend 2, which brought it into 3D instead of pixel art, and also switching developers, give the demo a try, with this trailer explaining the details of the game, so enjoy.
The trials are the single greatest test of skill and might in all the world. Mastering your arcana will be key to triumphing over the trials. The different elements of arcana each hold their own unique style. Water is balanced between offense and defense. Lightning arcana hit lightly, but quickly.
I admire any wizard that likes to play with fire.
Upgrading your arcana is as paramount as mastering stronger spells. A boost to your arcana shall serve you wisely. Relics are mementos of great wizards of old.
The legacies of our ancestors.
Wizard, that relic is cursed!
Continue to persevere, and your burgeoning powers will grow.
Now you're firing on all cylinders.
What a breathtaking display of power! Oh.
Guess you weren't as invincible as you thought.
The apparatus can make all kinds of changes to the trials.
Potions aren't free.
Each cloud's got magic to make wizards mightier.
Time for the two of you to tango. Yeah, okay, you have friends. You can stop showing off.
How is this allowed? This is supposed to be every wizard for themselves.
Put your capabilities to the test.
You bring the thunder, I'll bring the lightning.
This elemental looks down to earth.
Jabara, the Witch of the Sands. Will you prove yourself?
Show me your magic.
This is your chance. Become legend. Wizard of Legend.
After going radio silent for a little bit, we recently had the re-review of Metal Slug Tactics, a roguelite tactics title that uses the iconic IP but reimagines it as a tactics title, so you will see returning characters, enemies, weapons, and even NPCs like the Prisoner of War. With the good news being that it has a demo and also a Q4 2024 release window, so as a fan of both Metal Slug and tactics titles, this is on my personal list. Similarly, one of the most hotly anticipated Metroidvanias is Bow Path of the Teal Lotus, one that sports a hand-drawn art style and world inspired by Japanese folklore. You play as a fox sprite born out of a flower, having to fulfill a mysterious ancient prophecy which you will uncover as the game progresses. This title looks awesome and is high on my personal watch list, with this having cited Hollow Knight and Ori as inspirations if I'm remembering correctly, so if you're as curious as I am about this game, go play the demo. One of the funniest things in indie games currently is that the 800-pound gorilla of an indie game is actually this ultra-cozy interactive toy named Tiny Glade, in which you doodle about building various medieval buildings, and is one of the top 25 most wishlisted games on Steam, right up there with Path of Exile 2 and Slay the Spire 2. So to say that this is amazing is an understatement. This follows in the footsteps of games like Townscaper in being a game with no real objective, just allowing you to mess around with the building and construction tools. But it has little flourishes like giving sheep an umbrella if you terraform the land beneath them to leave them in the air, and looks like a very good time. Another amazing looking title is Dungeons of Hinterberg, which does actually release very soon, being an action-adventure RPG that mixes a modern-day-ish town in the alpine village of Hinterberg, along with dungeons to explore and enemies to fight. This is one of the most beautiful games that I have seen, which does kind of contrast with the tagline that they're going for in Book Your Slaycation, but I suppose combat is the easier way to appeal to a larger audience rather than being a cozy life sim game. So I wonder how the two elements will mix, with the demo being the best way to check it out. The next game from the developer of Gunpoint and Heat Signature is Tactical Breach Wizards, which was also quiet for a very long time and then suddenly has an August 2024 release date, where this trailer is excellent, so enjoy.
In a world where the top special forces operatives are all just wizards for some reason, one team is unstoppable. Not yours. Hers. The Black Ops Chronomancer. Her team of needlessly fancy goons have brought the world to the brink of war. And only one group of mismatched rejects stands in her way. A disgraced retired Navy seer who can see every possible future, but can't remember his own tragic backstory. The freelance Storm Witch, a private investigator whose mastery of lightning is devastating, unless her enemies aren't standing near windows. The Necromedic, a surgeon who turned to necromancy when she lost her medical license. She can heal you, but she'll have to kill you first. The Rebel Riot Priest, your heavy support. Faith is her armor. But she is also wearing actual armor. Together, there's no threat they can't stop. As long as they can get there by public transport, they can rewind every time they screw it up. And there's an easy mode if they need it. Tactical Breach Wizards.
Of course, I have to give a shout out to Cat Quest 3 since it comes to us from the pride and joy of Singapore in the gentle rules, one of the most successful indie developers from my home country, with the third entry being pirate theme. You're exploring and sailing around the pirates-infested Caribbean in search of a mythical treasure named the Northern Star. It appears to be fairly similar to the earlier two games, where I love the looks of them and how combat actually takes place on the world map itself, with, I believe, the addition of the ship and free-form exploration of the world being new, and of course, with the theme, treasure is a central element as well. The next game from the developers of Touhou Lunar Nights also has a demo in the occult-inspired cyberpunk Metroidvania Blade Chimera, which mixes yokai and monsters from Japanese mythology with robots and guns, where based on the quality of their earlier games, this is certainly worth a look. Watch this video for more upcoming Metroidvanias.